welcome to all of you watching this last Fiberific live craft and chat of 2021. The year is nearly over. It was a little bit of a dumpster fire. And I'm not going to be all like, oh, you know, next year, because I'm like prodding that with the stick. I don't know what's going to happen next year. So I'm just going to keep doing what I do. What are you doing? Like, how many of you forgot today was Thursday? Because, you know, if I didn't have calendar reminders, there's a good chance I would have forgotten today was a Thursday. Being limbo week. If you don't know what limbo week is, it's that week between Christmas and New Year's where you're just not quite sure what day it is. So yeah, it's definitely limbo week here for us. Got lots of people coming into the chat. Hello to you all. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all. Morning, Artsog. How are you going? How's your move going? You guys have had a big week as well. Hello to all. Like, hit that button and change top to live chat. Freaky's got everything going there. Good going, Freaky. That's exactly what we want. Morning rant. Jancy's wanting to know why sock minis 25 grams. Why aren't sock minis 25 grams so I don't run out on the last toe? Well, when I did minis, they were 25 grams, Jancy, because I had the exact same issue. I just thought, you know what? What's 5 grams? 5 grams is the difference between yarn chicken and not. Let's have some not yarn chicken. But if you keep an eye out, some places do make a 25 gram mini. It depends on the dyer and where they get their stuff from. I made my own minis so I could make them whatever size I wanted. Francis forgot. It's all good, Francis. You will not be alone. Don't worry. Sorry, you're right, Kathy. It's Wednesday for you. Absolutely. Freaky said that he was a day ahead of himself yesterday. Yep. I actually got our little banner, our thumbnail put up early yesterday. The only reason was my husband says to me, are you live streaming tomorrow or are you having a day off? And I was just like, check the calendar. No, I'm live streaming. Knitspin Girl says that she calls it Twixtmas. Betwixt the days. I mean, John, I'm not sure how, like, I know you love having your kids, right? And I know you do. But for some reason, I read that yay as not as a yay, but as a yay. But I do know you love it when you get to have your kids home with you. So I don't know. Yeah. A good point, Sally. Excellent point. I didn't forget because I'm here. Absolutely. Good morning, Sandy. Welcome to the chat. Lisby is here in the chat. I've got some finished yarns from my... Wow, you are powering. Lisby bought the Beer Sheba Advent Calendar, all those beautiful fibers to spin up, and now she's got some yarn. Oh, it definitely was. Yay. Okay, cool. I'm ready. Do you know what? I wish sometimes that I could do that. I was very happy that Abby went to work today. But what made me feel even worse about that was that she wasn't home yesterday either. She was at a friend's house and she'd stayed there the night before, and I was still happy that this morning she went to work. She came home with a little bit of an attitude. So very relieved. I'm very relieved. Okay. Hi, John's children. He loves you very much. Oh my goodness. So 2021 is nearly over, you guys. Like, here in Australia, it's the 30th. And it's Friday the 30th. And it's just been one of those crazy years. Like, you guys know some of the things that have been happening here at Fiberific. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown. A couple of the major things. Okay, I'm trying to think, but I should have written a list. I didn't write a list. I only just decided right this second that I was going to do a rundown. So of course I didn't write a list. But throw into the chat any of the big things that you think happened for Fiberific in 2021. One that I'm going to put in there is that there was no Bendigo this year again. For me, like I know Bendigo, well, actually Bendigo didn't even run, but Bendigo nearly ran for a lot of people, but I decided early not to go. So there was no Bendigo sheep and wool show. So I missed out on catching up a whole pile of you from down south. Kirby, you are like what time is it? How long have we been? We've only been live for 5 minutes. You are not even, I wouldn't even consider that late. Nope, not even late. I love this. Chaos Creator. And hello, Kim. Welcome to the show. I'm ready for my kids to not be home. And I'm not even going to. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. That was a big one. Fiberific has no more dying. There are still some yarns available over on the website if anyone's interested. I did find another crate with just a few in it. So I will be adding those at some stage. But yeah, so I don't do dyeing anymore due to health issues. Which I've actually found very sad and very disappointing. It was very disheartening. So yeah, that was a big thing, was the no more dyeing. Kathy says I've powered on my queen. I have powered on my queen. I've actually pulled it back out again. Look, because it's just here. You can't see it because Kathy's comment. And I thought, you know what? Oh, Chaos Creator isn't a mod. Oh, do you think it could have been from when that thing happened? So, Kim, did you unmod yourself, or we had a problem a few weeks ago where everyone jumped on and no one was a mod, and I forgot to go in and double check to see if it just happened to just Sally and to Sally and Jackie. But you're okay with not being a mod. You sure? I can mod you up if you like, but it's no responsibility. Well, we'll see how we go. We may need you at some stage. Yeah, but I think it was just that. I think she's going to party. She's going to be naughty now. Well, we'll let you have a day off from being mod, but we'll discuss it later. I won't put you on the spot. Let me just scroll back here. Oh, I went too far. Okay, so end of dyeing. Crochet conference, absolutely. We had the first ever Crochet Guild of Australia conference that happened. I taught lots of classes. Kim rescued me there as well. Kim rescues me in all the places. And she came along and manned the stall like an absolute trooper while I taught lots of classes. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. My first craft weekend, that's right. We had our first Fiberific retreat. We do have one booked in for later on in 2022. So we can definitely, I'll be releasing some more information about that a little later on. It's not till the second half of the year next year. So I didn't want to, push people. But if you want to go onto a waiting list, send me an email or send me a message. So it is definitely a big one. So that will be fun. But again, it's because of the wonderful venue that we have. It is definitely, hang on, I'm just going to, they've changed their, they changed how they typed it. It's different capitals, which is annoying. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, so that we still have limited numbers. Like I'm not entirely certain of the numbers, but it's around 18 to 22 maximum. And that's with people sharing rooms. So if you want to come to our second Fiberific retreat where we hang out and craft and we all have heaps of space and we just kick back, and the Amazings team up at the venue make all our food for us and just call us when it's time to eat, and then we go off and we come back. If you want to be in line for that, make sure you send me an email. I will start a list. Francis says the Big Wool Show online. That's right. We had the second virtual Big Wool Show. It was awesome. We're definitely streamlining how that works. I think this one was better than the last one. The last one was the first one though. So, we were learning. We were learning all the things. So we had the big wool show. So that was fantastic. I'm just catching up here. Jane Ferry has made it to a live. Welcome, Jane. I'm so glad to see you've made it. Sold some of your beloved yarn. Yes, I did sell some of my yarn. Let me have a look. The dye wench is doing her own thing now. So no, there's no more dyeing at all. That's it. What yarn is left is what there is. And I found a box with some of the Mystery Lace Club colors in it. So I'll be adding those up. Some of them are lace, some of them aren't. Yeah, so that was definitely one of those things. Let me keep looking. I'd scrolled back, so I'm just catching up in the chat. A Merry Christmas. It's good to see you in here. I don't want to read your name or your badge. They look awesome. We'll see how you go, Kim. We worked out that you do get a bit before they time you out. Kathy says, I don't think I'll make it to the craft weekend. Really, Kathy? Really? You won't come all the way? Apparently, my husband's beard is a carding machine. Don't donk him in the head with your... Oh, he's got some scruff happening. Hey, Holly, how are you? Good to see you in the chat. Good morning, Jackie. Vampire will be here soon. That's all cool. You can keep her updated. Chris Bragg, yes. Postage is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane at the moment. Just especially if you want to ship something out of Australia. Like I've been reading a lot of things on Facebook. People order, like going to order from, just big box stores as well, not just little stores, but then complaining about the cost of postage. And it's just like it's no business's fault. Like this in Australia, for me to ship anything via parcel post, so for tracking, so not an untracked envelope, it's minimum $9.15, and that's a big chunk. Like, if you bought a $5 crochet hook, you don't want to spend $9.15, so you have to risk untracked postage, which and then I'm always surprised. Like I was actually telling my husband about this the other day. There's always these people that will spend like $100, $200 on things and then pop it into an untracked envelope, and I'm just like, really? And then there's people who buy like one thing $10, $12, and then they'll pay for the tracked postage, and you're just like, I mean, I do that because I'm just like, I don't trust non-tracked postage. Yeah, it is definitely one of those things. Let me look and see. I'm still scrolling back. Jackie's in the car on her way to Conondale to see Lyndall. You say hello to Lyndall for me. Wow, that's a big trip. I'm as good as I can be when I'm not bad. Oh dear, that's terrible. That is legit terrible. So it's not just Canada where postage is through the roof. No. I think it's everywhere because, like, even in Australia, Amazon had to start up their own courier company because Australia Post couldn't keep up with all the Amazon orders. Now, some things still go through Australia Post, but like Dragonfly is a new courier company that solely delivers Amazon parcels. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely crazy. I'm just having a look here. We've got something that came up, and I just want to. There we go. Yeah, we have noticed there's a lot more bots on YouTube at the moment, which is really frustrating. So bear with us while we deal with those. Sorry about that. They don't normally write anything bad, just weird. So, it's pretty cool. Loom? What loom? I need details. I love that. So, yeah, other big things that have happened for Fiberific. I'm just having a little think. So Bob said it before and I forgot to put it up on screen. No more Mystery Lace Club. So we closed the Mystery Lace Club. It ran for 3 years. Part of that was, well, it was because of the no dyeing thing. Makes it very, very difficult when you're not dyeing your own yarn to run a lace club. So yes, the MLC was closed. No more dyeing for the rest of the business. I stopped stocking Nancy's Knickknacks. Unfortunately, they closed down in the US as well, so I can't get Nancy's Knickknacks products anymore. So that was a little bit sad as well. Where are we? A friend sent me a set of Fireball Christmas lights. It was $25 postage. I would have driven the 40 minutes to deliver them before paying that postage. I've been known to do that. Like, there have been times where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pop over. Like, I'll ring them and just be like, hey, I'm just coming. I'm going your way. Do you want me just to drop this in your letterbox? Gosh. So, yeah, it is. And Two Arctic Wolves says, and the USPS not delivering parcels to Australia as well as other countries since last September. Yeah, I think it's starting to get through the backlog to Australia now. I know that I ordered my I ordered my Knit Picks order with the Swift and everything. And it took a few weeks, but it actually came via DHL, and it usually comes by USPS. So yeah, it's you know, it's one of those things. It's definitely one of those things. Look, I'm sure there's been more. I'm sure that it feels like there should be more. I mean, that's a lot, really, that we've gotten through. And next year, we're going to be changing some things up. There's going to be some new content starting out in February. Live streams will still be running. I'm going your way because otherwise you sound like a stalker. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so, you know, there's lots of stuff happening, and I'm having a break, obviously. So what's happening right now is the only work I'm doing, I don't even class this as work, honestly, but the only work that I'm doing between Christmas and New Year's is this live stream. So there's no parcels being shipped out, nothing like that's happening. We're just chilling out. We're going to visit friends. We're going to visit family, like just local family. And yeah, we're just totally relaxing until next Wednesday. And then it's full steam ahead. Some of you know that I do have a second YouTube channel now, and I'm working on that business as well. So there'll be a bit of stuff, bit of juggling while I work out the balance between everything. But not dyeing frees up a lot of time, honestly. I won't lie to you. Not doing dyeing means that there's no scanning, there's no dyeing, there's no drying, there's no photographing of stock all the time. You know, you guys know the deal. So yeah, it was definitely it's definitely opened up a bit of time in my day. So hopefully that the new stuff just slots into those hours quite easily. That would be what I would like. I'm noted. Did my connection get a bit shaky? Let me just have a little look here. So yeah, so there's this, you know, what's going on. Next year's going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Lots of things happening. I'm going to try and juggle some balls in the air at the same time and see how that goes. Yeah. So I got something really cool for Christmas, and I don't want to brag, but I'm going to brag. Okay. So Tim and Abby got me one of those really cool Hario. I don't even know if that's how you say it. HARIO cold brew jug things for the fridge, and it's got like this basket in it, and you pour the coffee in it, and then you put cold water in it, and you pop it in the fridge like for 24 hours, and it makes you delicious cold brewed coffee, which I love. Cold brew, it's one of the things that I treat myself to when I'm out. If someone does cold brew, I'm like, I'll have that, thank you. So I've got cold brew and water for today's live stream. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, so I got the beautiful cold brew maker, as well as a little hand grinder that I can adjust the dial on, so that I can use it for cold brew, so that I can use it for I'm tossing up like I actually really want to get an AeroPress. So so that when I travel, I can still have good coffee, because that's the thing. Next year, I really want to do a bit more travel, and I can't deal. Sometimes when I travel, I can't deal with the coffee that's supplied. So it's nice to be able to have my own. So that's my goal, is to have like a little portable coffee, like with a little hand grinder, and so I think the only things that I really need is the AeroPress, right? But the things that I would love is one of the awesome coffee scales. It's so like hipster. And like I even felt weird adding it to my Christmas wish list. Like I was just like, yes, I'm going to put it on there. And what it is it measures weight, but also has a timer on it. So when you're making like your cold brews or your pour overs, or your AeroPresses or whatever, you weigh in your coffee, and then you need to weigh in how much water that you're adding as well. And so some of them you put in half your water and then wait a minute and put another water. So it does this. So you can just tap it, and you set it up. Kim doesn't know what a coffee scale is. You need to Google it, Kim. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's definitely one of those things. My kid got a mini Stream Deck thing. Also may need to get my brother to have a chat with you about live streaming. Get him to give me a call, Game Widows. Absolutely. I got a mini Stream Deck thing too. Look, I got it during the sales. This is how I'm running the live streams now. Everything's run on here. So look. Oh, look. Different camera angles. All set up with a button. It's just hotkeys, really. But you can add pretty pictures, and they can be like GIF-like and things like that. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Holly loves cold brew. Yeah, I always thought cold brew was like there was no reason for it. I just thought it was one of those dumb things, right? Like, oh, right, sure, yeah, you've got to make your coffee with cold water and wait 24 hours for it. No problems, idiot. Until I drank it. And then I was just like, oh, my God, now I know why you do this. Oh, if you don't like coffee, you're not going to like cold brew. It's that simple. Holly, correct me if I'm wrong. I am fairly new to cold brew. I think that cold brew intensifies the flavor of the coffee without intensifying the bitterness. So you get a really lovely, like, you can water it down if you want, but I like to make it a little bit strong. A lovely, strong coffee that has no bitterness, no oiliness, nothing like that. It does still smell like coffee. Yes. I mean, yeah, but it smells more like it's like more like a nice coffee, because obviously you get different aromatics when it's heated. But yeah, it's definitely different. It's definitely different. Kim says travel, lol. I'm hopeful, Kim. Like, the reality is I probably won't get to do any of the trips I want to do, but I'm hopeful. Oh, kiddos is smaller. Oh, you got the 6-digit. Yep. I got the middle size. So there's this one, and then there's one with like 32 buttons on it. But the thing to remember is you can make folders. So you're not limited to 6. You find cold brew bitter. I think it might depend on the roast. I like milk in mine, but this was drinkable without milk. This is probably a dash on the strong side even for me. And I don't add sugar. So, I mean, I really notice bitterness in tea and coffee, mostly in coffee, but I really notice it because I don't have the sugar to knock away any bitterness. So, yeah, it has no chance of being burnt or scalded. Absolutely. You can actually make the cold brew and then add hot milk if you want. I don't see the point of that personally, but apparently you can. Oh, yeah, you focus on the road, Jackie, and enjoy your time with Lyndall. Absolutely. I don't make cold brew, however, I've poured my coffee over ice before. Yeah, that's different. That's making iced coffee. Iced coffee and cold brew are totally different, but that's still good. It's still good as well. But travel could be just to the parents in the next day. It could be finally getting to see my mom. I haven't seen her since June or July. I mean, that's not through border closures and things like that. They're obviously making it a little bit trickier, but my mum is on a waiting list for some surgery and she just doesn't want to see anybody until she's done. Is coffee is good. Now, I will agree with that generally, but I have had some pretty bad coffee in the past, and even bad barista coffee, where I don't think the person making it was a barista. They just used a fancy machine. So, yeah. But anyway, I like it. It gives me the coffee boost that I like, and it's not hot, which is really nice because it's hot today. So, 2022. It is hopefully going to be a step better than 2021. I'm going to try and not get too why can't I put that? Because Sally beat me. Good job, Sally. I'm thinking, why can't I hide that user? And it's like, because Sally already did it. Good morning, Dolores. Welcome to the chat. How are you going? Burnt coffee smells awful. Have walked out of coffee shops because of it. Yeah, I have had coffees where I've gotten it and I've taken a sip, and it's really quite funny because my husband knows the second I add sugar to a coffee, it's because it's a bad coffee. I only add sugar to bad coffee. Yeah. Currently boiling water on the stove because my kettle died. No coffee is not an option. I agree with you. I've got a gas stove, so I've actually got one of those old. It's a big round kettle with the little whistle on it. I got one of those tucked up in the back of a cupboard. We use it very rarely, but when you need it, you need it. Because I always burn myself when I do it with the saucepan. I end up splashing water everywhere. Freaky says the first and last time I had black coffee was on the way home from school during a winter storm. Somebody said it would warm me up. It just made me ill. Yep, I can imagine that, especially if you're at school. Like, I can't imagine Abby would enjoy this because she doesn't drink coffee like my Abby. Yeah. And I agree with you, Game Widows. Kettle is my favorite appliance. I would have to agree with you there, I think. It's definitely the one that gets the most use in our house, like even more than a toaster. Chintamani said, I got a mocha from Hungry Jack's and it needed sugar. What? Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chris Braggs is not a coffee lover. Fair enough. I also like tea. I have been enjoying my tea from Talia Teas. I'm going to have to put another order in because my bags of I'm down to one bag of the chocolate slice, and yeah, just such good tea. Honestly, such good tea. I'll probably order a few more bags of like some different stuff. Last time I just ordered 2 bags of chocolate slice. Yeah, it's one of those things. I can't stand Starbucks or Gloria Jeans. Their coffee is so bitter. Yeah, it's one of those things. I've had good Starbucks and I've had good Gloria Jeans, but I've had a lot of bad of both. And I really think it comes down to the actual barista. I think they overheat and burn their coffee. Like, there's a lot of people who believe that a coffee should be done at 70 degrees, and I disagree. I think that it should not be done at that sort of temperature. Artsuga said, I remember hoping 2020 would be better than 2019, and I remember wanting 2021 to be better than 2020. Not game enough to hope for 2022 to be better. See, I personally think each year has been different, because it is some things about, like, 2019 was a total shock. No one was prepared. No one had any idea what to do. 2020 was a lot of us in holding patterns where plans were being put in place, but we still weren't seeing any action. 2021 we were getting to, there's travel starting to happen and borders were creeping open and then slamming shut again, and, things like that. I'm really hoping that this year is just different again, and I'm just pleased just a little bit better. Oh, Knitspin Girls tried the mint sliced tea last night. Yum. I know, right? Like, it sounds like it's going to be like those of us in the chat who've had mint sliced tea, put your hand up. Not mint sliced tea, mint sliced biscuits, okay? The Arnott's mint slices. Because when you bite into that, it's like eating a thin chocolate biscuit with an after dinner mint plopped on it, right? It's strong. It's really minty. It's really chocolatey. Sorry, my nose has just started running, like literally just then. And so when you think of the mint sliced tea, you think, oh gosh, that's what's going to be happening. It's going to be really, strong. But the thing is, it's not. It's really, like, you can definitely taste the mint and you can taste the chocolate, but you can also taste the tea a little, and it just is just enough of everything. In my opinion, it's just enough of everything. So you need to try it. You just feel you don't like the mint sliced tea, Kim. You feel like you're drinking toothpaste. Okay. I don't feel like I'm drinking toothpaste. But anyway, I've decided that, I can't do mint teas. I can't do straight mint, like spearmint or just mint. I get heartburn. I don't know why. I don't get heartburn from a lot of things, but I get heartburn from mint tea and chamomile tea. So I don't drink either of them by themselves. So I was a little dubious about the mint sliced tea, but no, I don't get heartburn from it. So winning. Let me have a look here. Rebecca, I agree with you. It depends on the person who's making the coffees. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hang on a second. Chintami said, I was told by a Zarafa's barista that they use a very dark roast because it is bitter. No matter how badly it's made, it's easy to disguise a bad barista. Oh my God, why? Like, you're a coffee shop. Why wouldn't you just train your staff? Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Okay. Chintami is not a fan of mint in general. Fair enough. We all have our own tastes. I think you're wrong. No. I like mint, but I understand not everyone does. Currently drinking the chocolate vanilla by Tea Italia, and I alternate between this and the mint slice. I don't think I've tried the chocolate vanilla. We'll have to try it. Chintami says the only mint tea I enjoy is peppermint. Yeah, and see, I can't have straight peppermint tea. Everyone's like, oh, it settles an upset tummy. No, it doesn't. Not for me. Not for me. So, you guys here in the chat, what is it that you would like to see for 2022 here on the Fiberific channel? Not generally in the world. I can't do anything about that. But here on the Fiberific channel, what would be something that you would like to see? I can't promise it'll happen, but I can definitely have a look. Yeah, I could agree with that for sure. Yeah. So I've got my pen and my paper so that I can write down any of your suggestions for 2022, because you guys are here every week or watching the replay or whatever. Sorry, I'm sliding off the chair. The pants I'm wearing are not good with this, you know, there's a I need to move the mat. There's a lip and I keep trying to roll forward. It slides me off the chair. Okay, let's have a look here. Blinglets. I find watching you make them very soothing. We'll have to see how that goes, because I can't wear the breather for those either, but I might be able to sit outside and do them slower. Unicorn hair. Well, I can't dye anymore, Kirby, so I can't make unicorn hair. Kamal tears like hot hay water. What is hot hay water? Oh my gosh. I'd like to see the back of a plane seat in front of me. I mean, I could probably grab an image and throw it on screen and make you feel like maybe. Jancy says, make along together. That sounds like fun. Hang on, I'm writing it down. Artsog would love to see the completed queen. So would I, to be honest. Lisby would love to see some info on picking the right tool for the right job. Now, are you talking like fiber preparation tools or knitting needles or whatever? Bob would also like to see the queen finished. More spinning from Leonie. You know, Leonie, I nearly set up the spindle today, but then I decided against it because the second spindle camera is not set up, and I was just like, yep. I wrote Leonie rather than spinning. I've got some stash to get through. Dolores says, I really enjoyed just seeing what crafting projects you're working on at the time, and of course the company whilst I sit and knit. That's cool. That's cool too. Aspen May would also like a make along. Leanne, nearly timed Leanne out. Sorry, Leanne. At my second to first member of the memberships. Maybe more interviews or guests. That I think I can wrangle that up. Spinning, yes, spinning. Hey, Scott, welcome to the chat. Good to see you in here. Speaking of special guests, we're just having a discussion of what things that I can work on for next year and make videos on or do in the live streams. I'm game for a make along as long as it's cheap and it don't matter what type of yarn. And I think that would be something I would definitely make sure of, is that it'd be non-yarn specific so that it could be open to more people. Absolutely. Liz B says anything. Chris Bragg says make alongs are fun. Chintami says how to. An I-cord edge on one side of a scarf. It's done purlwise instead of knitwise. And I'm trying to work out how to do it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if I timed her out, she'd be back in 5 minutes. Absolutely. But she would send me angry messages. And then, definitely. Yes, I too saw the squishy sheep. I love the squishy sheep idea. I think it's very cool. Yeah, we've got lots of good options in here. I really do love the idea of the make along. I know that us as a small group did a combined project, and that was a lot of fun. That was actually a couple of years ago now that I think about it. But yeah, so it's definitely one of those things. Look, I don't generally I used to do a lot of giveaways here on the channel, and I realized that A, YouTube doesn't like it much, and B, it was actually costing me a lot, so I can't run them anymore, not very often anyway. Could you share the angry messages while she waits? I mean, that would be funny. Leanne also says, I also like reviews on the products you use whether they be craft or tech products. Thank you. That's also good, because like a lot of us do utilize softwares and computery things for our craft now. Not everybody, but lots of people do. Yeah. I think that's Artslog's goal there, Freaky. I do. Not that I'm all for you getting timed out, Leanne. I'm just asking. Yeah, well, I mean, I nearly accidentally timed her out. I didn't actually do it. You guys, terrible. Terrible friends. Goodness me. All right, so we've talked about some of the things that we want to do for Fiberific. Do you guys have any projects planned? I mean, I'm not a planner when it comes to projects. Obviously, I'm still working on the same one since 11 years ago. Also, the other 11 billion projects that I've started that I still haven't finished. I was watching this amazing montage that someone did of all the projects they'd finished this year, and I was sort of just sitting there like I could not make a montage that went for longer than, just a finish none. I don't think I finished any. I mean, I did some sewing projects and I got a couple of things finished there. I don't think I finished any yarn projects because I think I was like really heavily focusing on this one. So I was trying not to start any. I've started some extras, but I don't think I finished those either. If you guys can think of a project I finished just to make me feel better in 2021, I'd really appreciate that, because right now I have none coming to mind that I actually finished. I'm hoping to do another enormous blanket that I could finish before Chantel gets to the end of her queen. Yeah, because did we start our queens at the same time, Josephine? I think we did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That cow. Which cow? Oh, Manic Monday. Was that 2021? Please, I'm going to check because I really hope it was, because that would be cool. Oh, and my zipper pouch. The zipper project bag. Yes. That's two. You guys are awesome. Yes, I did. I crocheted the little mosaic pouch. Oh my gosh. Didn't I finish a blanket? I don't think I did. I don't know if I don't think I finished a blanket. I might have. I don't think I did. That wool show was a big finish. It was a pretty big effort, the wool show. I won't lie. Oh, yes, the crochet soap bag after critiquing the pattern. Yeah, I should release that pattern, right? I had it tested and everything. I should probably get some photos and release that pattern. I'll need to do a massive stash busting project so I can justify buying more yarn after the move. Yep. The Star Wars blanket. Oh, no, I haven't finished it. It's still going. I put it aside. But yes, I know the one you're talking about now. I'm still going. It's not finished. I probably did finish some washes. I'd do them without really thinking. I did make some social stitches pouches if I want to count sewing. And I also made the one with the wooden handles. That one was totally finished. And the clear zipper bag thing, that one, and the bum bag thing. Abby steals that now. Tea time with Chantel, where we take 15 to 30 minutes to unwind with snacks and tea. That would be fun. That would be something fun we could do, like a short thing that we could do where we just hang out and talk. Like this, except shorter and at a different time. Zebra Kitten, welcome to the chat. It's been ages. How are you? You're still up? Oh my goodness. I'm just speaking. Yes, the Book of Boba Fett has just dropped. I haven't looked at it yet. See, look. I don't think of it as heaps. Like when I'm looking at what other people are doing, but then I suppose when I look at what else I'm doing outside of craft, I suppose it's a few projects. Off to the Hammer Barn. You know, I think of it as Hammer Barn now. Thanks. Use some of the lives a dedicated time to work on a WIP while chatting. Yeah, I think so. I think what I'd like to do, and I want to talk to you guys more about this. And so there'll be some polls and things coming up over the next few months. It's not going to be a rush out thing, but I would like to try and plan out some of our lives so that on the first live of the month, we do something like this. And on the second live of the month, we do, you know what I mean? Like, not so much like hard rules or anything like that, but have a goal for each one so that everyone could do that. I did make bunting. I did, and I finished that, and I made TikToks and everything. Awesome. Vampy is back. Hello. It's still in its bag. It's still in its bag. I have to finish it. It's nearly done, but I'll have to finish it. A wild vampire. What is a wild? The wild vampire has entered the chat. Yeah. I think I'll enjoy it. I've enjoyed all the rest, so I can't imagine why I wouldn't. I think my next. Oh, that would be cute. That would be so cute. Could you do a video showing how to do your Swift and Yarn Winder? Yeah, I'll add that. Yes, I will. That is an excellent suggestion. I will do that. I'm going to be really honest. I'm probably not going to watch it yet because, and it's so dumb. Honestly, I should probably get in and watch it before it's spoiled for me. But all of them will be about food, Bob. All of them will have food, because how can we have a live stream without talking about food? I get hungry. We sit here and chat for 2 hours and I drink beverages, but I get hungry. You know, I've had a bowl of Nutri-Grain, but that's it. I come basically off the end of live stream and it's lunchtime and I'm hungry. Yeah, it's about the only day I don't forget to have lunch, because I quite often forget to have lunch. But after live streams, I sort of go in home. My husband's like, "You come in hangry," and it's just like I'll walk around and be like, "What's there to eat? There's nothing to eat. Oh my god!" Ricky's grabbing an orange. But yeah, so what's happened is we subscribe to, like, as a sort of a little group Christmas present for the family. We subscribe to Paramount Plus for a year. So I watched the new CSI Vegas, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if everyone will, but I really enjoyed that. And it was like a little bit of a blast from the past. But then the thing that I really loved was, because it's Paramount Plus, it is, excuse me, I've got the entire back catalogue. Now I'm getting a frog. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I just have some water. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's got all this great back catalogue of like all the CSIs, all the NCI. It's like it's CBS basically. And so I'm currently rewatching all of Numbers, which I used to really love. So yeah, it is definitely there's a lot in there. And I've been binge watching. I think I've managed to watch 2.5 or 3 seasons of Numbers over like a week. Maddie is currently obsessed with roast lamb and gravy jaffles. I mean, I'd be pretty obsessed with one of those. I think that sounds really good. I think with just a little tiny drizzle of mint jelly in there would make it perfect. But you know, it's definitely Abby sent me, like, Abby Queen. My Abby is ridiculously fussy when it comes to food. She sent me a photo of her dinner at a friend's house. And it was all this sort of food that I've been trying to get her to eat for years. It was like steamed broccolini with crumbled feta on it, with chicken tenders and, other veggies and stuff. And I'm sort of sitting there and looking at it going, oh, God, I hope she doesn't make a scene, because at home she'd just push her plate back. I'm not eating that, and just walk off. So she'd go without dinner, obviously. She said, oh my God, Mom, it was so good. We should totally make food like this at home. And I'm sort of reading it like, but I do make food like this at home, but you don't eat it. So yeah. But now that she's eating it somewhere else, she will eat it at home. That's what usually happens, is we try to get her to eat something, she won't eat it. She'll be at a friend's house, they'll eat it, then she'll try it and be like, oh my God, Mom, why don't we ever have this? And I sort of sit there like going, I tried to feed you that like a week ago. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Oh, lots of you like Numbers. It was such a good show. And even rewatching it, it hasn't lost anything. Like, I don't know how many years old. It's got to be at least 10 years old, right? And it's not dated. It's not, like, what's really weird is like some of the, like they're talking about viruses spreading and things like that. And I'm like, oh, wow, that was a little prophetic right there, wasn't it? But yeah, like, it's fun. Yeah, me too, until I saw it come up. Freaky says, I can't watch a show I've seen before they put me to sleep. See, I love rewatching shows. I read this bizarre thing that was talking about how it's like something to do with people who, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, I was a bit like, oh, people who love to rewatch shows they've watched before. It's relaxing and calming, and helps to not stress you out. So yeah. Kathy's wondering if the live is, I'm just running a speed test, Kathy. Stop making things taste like toothpaste. I love mint. All right, so it seems like I'm being told by YouTube that there's an excellent connection. So I'm confused, and my upload speed, I'm just waiting for the upload speed. I'm on a hard line today, guys. I'm not running through the thingy. Yeah, I like Numbers. It's just when they add the math to it. Yeah, my upload and download is good, and YouTube says it's an excellent connection, but I'm looking at the stream and it's not looking very clear. Anyway, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. I have documented proof that she enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a bit laggy. Okay. All right. Well, so I can't do a lot about that, you guys. So fingers crossed it doesn't get worse, like that other day where we ended up having to abandon the stream. But last time I was on like 5G. This time I've got like huge uploads and downloads. So we'll see. But the audio is fine. Cool. We'll keep going then. Holly says, I always felt a bit smarter after I watched Number. The reality is I'm terrible at math. Me too. I'm so bad. But like they rattle off this stuff and you're like, that makes sense. Rebecca says, I miss a lot of the shows I used to watch. Yeah, Tim, what was it? Tim was asking me if I'd ever watched Dexter, because I like a lot of crime dramas and things like that. And I was like, well, no, because I would get started and then I'd miss episodes for whatever reason. But then I wouldn't want to jump back in having missed like a season or something, because yeah, it would make it just, it would be weird. And I would miss stuff, and I don't like that. So I just stopped watching it entirely and wait until I can go back and watch it on like DVD or something. So yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't really know what the issue is, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just reading through some of your comments about it being a bit glitchy, being a bit pixelated. Yes, they've rebooted Dexter with the same cast. Kind of a bit like what they did with CSI, where it's the same original, some of the original cast. Yeah. Do I still Stan? You think Dexter is on there? I do still have Stan. I'm not certain, but I know it's definitely on. Oh, I know I've definitely seen it on one of them. I don't remember which one. All good for you guys. Yeah, it looks like it's better for me as well here. It must have just went through a little, blah blah. A blah blah. That's a thing now. That is now officially a thing when the internet goes crappy for a second. A blah blah. That's why I love How I Met Mother. You can watch any episode in any order, and they're all funny. Yeah, and I think that's like people who watch like the Days of Our Drearies and stuff like that. It doesn't matter if you catch one episode every 15 years because it's all the same stuff over and over again. It's just, how many times has this person died and come back to life? But yeah. And did you ever watch Scorpion? Yes, I loved Scorpion. I made a grave error of judgment with Scorpion. I wanted to, because it was apparently based on the life of a real person. So I thought, wow, and went and had a look, and that person turns out to, like, from what I read, it was a bit of a douche. So I was just like, yeah, and it kind of lost its luster. So don't Google the guy that it's about. It will, but like the actual series is great. I loved the series. I loved the character developments. Yeah, it's one of those things. Amnesia happens a lot in Days of Our Drearies. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Sally said that she lied. Liar. It's not on Stan. No, that's all right. What's happening is now that Paramount Plus is live in Australia, Sally, a lot of the shows that were on the others are being pulled in. Yeah. I never realized it was about someone. I definitely won't Google that. Don't Google it while you're in the middle of an episode, because like I was reading it while I was in the middle of an episode. But I think it was still interesting to know that while they can base a really awesome TV show, but it wasn't the nicest of people. Oh, I can hear my gates going. I think Tim's back. I hope he got milk because I used the last of it. Not evil at all. Totally not evil. Yeah, so because there was a big like in the Star Trek world, because Star Trek Discovery was due to go live, like the next season was due to go live on Netflix 3 days before it was due to go live. It was pulled from Netflix. And Paramount Plus went, yes, this is our property. Ha ha ha. You can only watch it on Paramount Plus. Join up to Paramount Plus. Problem being, Paramount Plus wasn't available everywhere. I'm just going to go, and I'll be back in a second, you guys. I do have a Be Right Back screen. There we go. Sorry, I felt a big sneeze coming, so I thought I'd run away while I could. All right, back to the comments. She said getting Tim Tams and not sharing. The only Tim Tams that I have in my house at the moment do not belong to me. They are going to be shipped out to somebody else. Yeah. I was fast. I was quick. I just wanted to run over and get away from the microphone and have a big old sneeze. So, yeah, like sometimes when you feel a big one coming, it wasn't as big as it felt. But, yeah, sometimes you feel a big one coming along and you're just like, So, yeah. But, like we could keep talking about TV stuff. I mean, I love TV stuff. Got so aggro about Discovery moving off Netflix. I was enjoying it, but limited budget means we don't have Paramount Plus. Yeah, I was pretty ticked, honestly. I was pretty ticked. And there was a lot of people around the world really ticked because Paramount Plus is only available in Australia, in the US, maybe the UK. It's got maybe a splattering of other countries, but it wasn't widely it was not widely distributed yet. And so there was like this massive like online like too bad if you've been supporting Star Trek for however long, because now they've pulled it off their platform, and there was like no legal way for some people to get it. Now like all these people like writing these things about, oh wow, this is one way to make sure we all go and torrent it without paying for it. I think it depends. Freaky's writing here, if you had a VPN you could still watch it. A lot of the streaming companies are getting onto that. I think Netflix you can still get around it with a VPN. You can't turn on Amazon Prime with a VPN on. It actually goes, or Prime Video. It actually goes, hey, you've got a VPN installed, shut it off. But yeah, it's just one of those. Sorry, Game Widows, you were given a what? A tin of disappointment. A future tin of disappointment. What is a future tin of disappointment? Yeah. But anyway, so like I could go on about how disappointed I was with Paramount, but Tim decided that, like, because I do love so many of the procedurals and the CSIs and FBIs and all those sorts of shows, that for us it was probably worth getting. And as it was a family Christmassy present, it was definitely a good one for the family, because I'm just watching all the shows. I think it's a fantastic present. I don't know how Abby feels about it. I don't think she's found anything she likes on it. But we did tell her we weren't going to cancel Stan, because we were like, no, we're not going to get this until we cancel Stan. And she was like, no, I watch Stan. Danish cookies. I actually like the Danish cookies. Like, I do. They're not my favorite cookies in the world, but when I eat them, I have happy memories. So, speaking of tins, I forgot to buy my sewing kit tin. That's the Danish cookies tins. Yeah, they don't have Danishes though. No, there's just biscuits. It's the cookie tin. Okay. All right. Tin of disappointment. Well, I don't mind them. I'll tell you what I don't like, right? Bad panettone. Like dry, tasteless panettone. I hate it. And it's like a 50-50 whether you get a good one or a bad one. Actually, I think it's 75-25 bad to good. So when you get a good one, you're just like, oh my God. This year, Tim picked one up from Aldi of all places. And he was just like, oh, I know you love panettone, so I got you one. And I'm sort of looking at it thinking, are you going to be good or trash? And it was amazing. And I went to go and get another one to pop in the cupboard, and they were sold out of that particular brand. And Tim was like, but they've got these other ones. And I was just like, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. But we had very good panettone this year. But yeah. Yeah, me too, Holly. Me too. But now I understand by the future tin of disappointment, because right now it's got cookies in it, so not so disappointing. But in the future, when they open it thinking they're going to get cookies, and it's going to be a sewing container. So yeah. Okay, I understand. Thank you, Kim. Aldi ones are usually great. Okay, that's cool. I got some from Costco, and one brand was great. The other brand was trash. I got some from Woolies. They were all bad. I got some from Coles, all bad. So yeah, I get very sad. Yeah, I get it now. It's disappointing when it's being reused. What made me think of that is some of the panettones come in like a big, tall red tin. And so I was keeping some of those, but we did a massive clean out, and we got rid of all of that kind of stuff, plus like a whole pile of other things. So yeah. My significant other got me a baby Yoda plushie for my firstborn. Spoiled, but my firstborn spoiled the surprise. Oh, we when Abby was a certain age, actually even now we still have to be careful. She's 16. Sometimes she forgets that she's going to ruin something for somebody else. Yeah, it is definitely. We have a great Italian deli that have all different flavors. Oh, Francis, I'm jealous. And are they all like squishy, or are they the dry, like the dry ones? I don't like the dry ones at all. I like the squishy ones where you open up and you just get hit with that sort of orange, zesty. I love that one. I confused my daughter once. She opened a tin expecting to find sewing supplies and found biscuits. Oh no. Right. Just follow the local nonnas. I don't have any local nonnas around here, otherwise I would. Huh, both dry and squishy. Okay. Oh, she had to tell her friend, and I was standing in front of. Oh gosh. The wrecking crew. Oh my goodness. Hello, John's kids. And I'm blaming, is it Bub? I think I'm blaming Bub Karen for us now talking about food, because she jinxed us way back in the chat, way back. Like, I know this particular instance started because we were talking about the blue tins, and now we and yeah, but I blame Bub. She may not be here to take the blame, but I'm blaming her. Okay. Did you guys actually ever tell me what projects you're planning on for next year? Like, do you have anything that's next? Because I would like some inspirations, please. I have a huge stash, mostly of single skeins of 4-ply, of like different dyes and stuff, even some of my own. But yeah, and lace weight. So yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. Yes, it's quite a large portion of our live streams taken out of context could be very bad. It could really be super bad for sure. Hang on. Who all munches while they craft and watch programs? I mean, I generally do. Tim calls it my bird seed. I have this little bowl and it's got like nuts and seeds and stuff in it, and I'll just sort of munch on that so I don't feel so guilty. But yeah. I made a great scarf, spun, dyed, woven for my mum for Christmas. Oh, that sounds amazing. Game Widows has some weaving plans. The Attic 24 Harbor blanket. You know when all the good stuff's starting, Kathy. Hang on, I'm writing it down because I want to have a look at it. Have I got to line the pen out so I can actually use it? Harbor blanket. January 7. Attic 24. Her stuff's so cool. Honestly, I love her colors. Beanies and cardies galore. Jancy is planning a yarn diet and working the stash. I'm working the stash. I'm not planning a yarn diet. If I want to go and get something, I'll get it. But I've got a lot here I could probably use. I'd like to make more light jumpers, but I have so many whips that I have only started in the last couple of months. Yeah, I really want to get this blanket done, honestly, but I need smaller projects. I'm working on my knitted shawl at the moment as well. But yeah, one thing I realized, okay, so because Scott's reminded me here with this amigurumi, because Erin Lee's amigurumis are amazing, and I want to make more of them, and I think they're adorable, and I want to put some up here on my shelf because I love them. But I realized, because I'm still adjusting to wearing up close glasses, and I was trying to do something the other night. I didn't have any glasses on, and I couldn't make it work. I couldn't see enough, and I ended up having to shower and going to bed because it was fairly late. I figured, I must be tired. And it wasn't until the next day that I realized, Chantel, you wear reading glasses now. You need them for crafting. And the problem I have, like probably lots of us, is having the reading glasses so I can still watch TV, because I don't need glasses for TV. I just need them for up close work and distance, like driving and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely so. But I realized that, and now I'm like, okay, remember to put. So I want to go and get an extra pair of glasses to keep with all my craft stuff, so that I've got a pair for, you know, in my bag basically for taking to the shops to remember, so I can read ingredients things, but also have a pair around. A pair of socks is planned. Then I need to find a project and look at my stash and get more yarn for it. Linda, aren't you a dyer? Just out of curiosity. I thought you dyed lots of amazing yarn. But in saying that, I also know as an ex-dyer that I still bought lots of yarn from other people. Rebecca's got a huge list. Slippers and hats and sweaters and cows and socks, plus gardening and fishing. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a nice big mix of inside outside. Holly so far has 3 baby blankets and a mosaic crochet socks. I've not thought of making crochet socks like mosaic ones. I've got to go sort out the laundry, the machine finished, and then I have to head to Costco. Have fun and be safe. I fly by the seat of my pants. My goal is to watercolor paint daily. I would like to use more of my yarn stash as well. Yeah, because this is the thing. Most of us have got multiple crafts. We're not just limited to the one. So it's important to remember to make time for all of them. Jane says more socks for gifts in 2022 and more yarn collecting. That is awesome. I used up all my baby yarn this month. That was nice. I had this project that used up all this baby yarn that I'd been given by excuse me, by my mother-in-law many years ago. And I remember when I used it all up, it felt so good. I want to crochet some more socks, but I don't want seams. Check out Addie Day Designs. She's got a couple of really good sock patterns, no seams. They're crocheted in the round. They're not crocheted flat. Oh gosh, quick change. I'm determined to learn how to knit, so hopefully I can complete a small knitted project. So don't forget, Holly, you've probably already watched it because you're awesome, that I have a video on knitting for crocheters, and it's a step-by-step on how to get started with continental knitting, which I found for me works really well. Now, I know it doesn't work well for everybody, but it might be a way to try and help you to sort of do that transition over to knitting from crochet. I got the Mosaic Crochet Workshop book for Christmas, so I can see lots of mosaic crochet in my future. There are a pile of designers pumping out mosaic crochet at the moment. It is so awesome. I'm going to attempt twill on my loom and finish some card woven bands. That is awesome. I want to try a gnome this year. Nice. Do you know which one? I bought, Leanne would know the name of the pattern. Oh, we both bought it at the same time. That was the gnomes from, oh my God, my brain is totally frying and not giving me the name. Anyway, she's a friend. Anyway, her crochet gnomes look amazing. And I need Leanne to tell me the name of the pattern because I can't remember. Yeah, look, I've had bifocals before. They don't work for me at all. They and I've had multifocals as well, and the same problem. I have to have all separate glasses. So I actually have 4 sets of glasses because these are extended readers. So these are set for an 80 centimeter reading distance. So I can read almost, because like my arms are straight out, I still can't reach the screens. So I've got these as extended readers, and then I've got my normal reading glasses, my driving glasses, and my sunglasses. So yes. Yeah. Lisby has a lot of wool to spin. I'm thinking of making a cardi with it, but you all say I need to knit it. Look, this is the thing. You can totally crochet yourself a cardi. There's no that's wrong. You can't make it. But we're in Queensland and they do get to be a bit thick. So if you crochet something that's a little bit more open weave, or not quite so dense, Jenny King Designs has some good crochet cardigans you can have a look at. And so, yeah, so that might help you as well. Like, crochet is definitely more your jam, but in hot weather, the lightness of knit is generally easier than crochet. So like John says, you can crochet a thick cardigan. So I agree with you. Other people dye pretty yarn as well. Absolutely. You guys are on fire. I'm trying to keep up in the chat. My question for everyone is, if you're not a member of the Fun Zone, why not? Answer the 3 questions and then you can share your projects in the Fun Zone. Go, Sally. That is awesome. And I agree with you. Why not? Why aren't you in the Fiberific Fun Zone where you can share your photos and get help and support from over 500 amazing crafters that are over there who will also cheer you on? I love Erin Lee's Amy so much. Me too. I'm on my final 2 for a while, a crocodile and a dragon. And that'll be for the twins. That's awesome. Vampire said, lots of stash busting. We packed our stashes into 6 massive striped bags and still have more. Yeah, I don't want to think about how much stash I've got. I do want to use some of it up though, because I need to make room for my new sewing stash. John says, hang on. Before I get to John, I'm seriously contemplating knitting Christmas stockings for my nieces. Not 100% decided though. Christmas stockings are pretty cool, I'll have to say. And now John's next. Got another Star Wars Ami kit for Christmas. I need to learn how to do Amis this year. John, I think you would be awesome at Amis with your death grip crochet. Absolutely. The only real difference I think is that death grip is a win, and that's the biggest problem I have with Amis is I don't crochet tight enough, and I have to drop down like crazy hook sizes just to get the tight stitches. And also, instead of like yarn overing for your single crochet, you actually scoop it under and it makes a better stitch. That's it. Then it's just normal crochet. I think you would rock at Amis. And I would highly recommend, maybe for your first one, going and grabbing one of Erin Lee's free ones. There's a link on my recommendations page over on the Fiberific website to Erin's stuff. And her instructions on how to put everything together are fantastic. And it's a really good way, like if you get an idea of like, okay, that's how it's supposed to be. A lot of amigurumi designers don't go into the same level of detail. So if you've already done one to that level of detail, going into the next one is that little bit easier because you have an idea of how you could set it up and where to put pins to help you with placement and things like that. So yeah, definitely go and check out Erina, and I think you would be awesome at it. I think Amis really lend themselves to tight crochet. The mosaic crochet socks I'm using is the Gangly socks, crocheted around with an afterthought heel. Cool. Good morning, Annette R. Welcome to the chat. That's it. Leanne, she came to the rescue. Bramble and Spring, something like that. It's Pip and Poppycock. It's Pip and Poppycock's. There's 2 gnomes in a book, and it's awesome. That one. That's the one I bought. Yeah. The Gnome Along for 2022. That's not a bad idea. Gives us plenty of time to get gnomes ready for Christmas. Absolutely. Knit Spin Girls wants to spin more. I want to spin more. I don't know if I will this year. Not more than last year, but it'd be nice. I mean, I've had the same stuff on the wheel. Like, let's just scrub back through like the last 12 months of actually, I bought that fiber at the Big Wool Show, not this year, but the year before. There you go. And I started spinning it not long after I got it. Knit Spin Girl says it took 3 months to get used to bifocals. Yep. I tried, but it just didn't work for me. Oh, Holly has watched them. Awesome. I've watched your videos several times, and I have to say thank you for your suggesting continental knitting, because it's like it finally clicked in my brain. Yeah, and that was the same for me as well, because when I first started knitting, it felt so off. It felt wrong, and it was like all the wrong hand movements, and I just knitted so slowly, and I found it so incredibly frustrating. And then I was at a spinners group, and somebody was continental knitting, and I'm like, what are you doing? I had no idea there were different ways to do it. I'd only ever seen one way. And yeah, it just blew my mind. So that's, I totally get it. Clover and Bramble. There's the link. Thank you. I love that pattern. It's so cute. Two Arctic Wolf says there's new baby due in the family, so baby things to make. Awesome. We'll have to make Vampire a death metal bunny and a rose cardigan for next winter. Absolutely. Chris says Ammy's hurt my hands. Me too. And it's because I'm like trying to crochet so tight, whereas John naturally crochets tight. So yeah. Oh, I'm catching up to where you guys were all agreeing with me. Sorry. Kelly is not so much project orientated, but I'd like to be able to knit without looking at my hands. It just takes practice. I still find that I do tend to look down a little, like just to double check, but I can watch TV while I'm knitting now, and I can talk while I'm knitting, because I think I'm still looking out of my peripheral, so I can still see that it's catching. But yeah, Bishiva says get spinning. Yeah, I'll get there. Chris Bragg, thanks for jumping in and joining the chat. It was so good to see you in here. Happy New Year's to you as well. I was given 3 free fleeces earlier this year to work my way through, not to mention all the other fleeces in my stash. I've actually got a project that I need to work on for a friend. She had a sheep that was very special to her, and he passed away, so they actually sheared him. And I've got the fleece here that needs to be scoured and picked, and I'll probably do a bit of a skirting first, and then give it a wash, and then spin it up, so that she can have something special to remember her special sheep. I want to organize more. I want to spin more too. I organize my fiber into 5 underbed tubs, not buying any more fiber or fleece till I have room in those tubs. Yep, that's a good way to do it. That's a good way to do it. Chancy, those gnomes are so cute. I feel an addiction. I know. Aren't they adorable? Oh, Molly says my husband swears that I can knit and crochet asleep. Oh, yep. I believe it. You need to build muscle memory to knit and not watch what you're doing. Yeah. Musel. Yeah. Let's just hide the user. There we go. Yeah, it's one of those things. I remember I was doing a project a few years ago, and it was a citron. Have you guys ever knit a citron? And it's very much it's very much a lot of knit stitches. And I realized that I was nodding off and my hands were still moving, and I'd sort of wake up. I had 6 days to knit a grand citron, so I was up late quite a lot working on it. And I realized that I didn't drop stitches. That was the important thing. But I was actually still, I don't think maybe I was quite asleep, but I was nearly asleep, but my hands were still moving. Yes, Linda, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I like to rewatch old shows as well, is because I can continue to craft during them, because I know what's going to happen. So yeah, it is. I've nodded off crocheting with YouTube on very. Very funny. I sleeping. I do that. I'm still so relieved I finished that Pokemon Fusion. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. All right, so we've all got a lot that we want to get done in 2022 craft-wise. And I think that's cool because, you know, like no matter what happens for the rest of, you know, the dumpster fire century, I think it's one of those cool things that we've all got plenty of things that we want to do. So if we've got more time at home to do them, it's not actually a bad thing. So I think that's cool, especially considering a lot of us are working with stuff we already have. So we're not worried about shipping times and cost of postage and things like that. We're working with some of the stuff we have. And I think that's one of the big advantages that's happened with, you know, this thing. It's made a lot of us a lot more aware of what we already have and using up some things that we already have. In saying that, I did order a lot. I'm not saying I didn't, but it made me really like think it through. Like, do I really need to put that order in? Okay, I'm going to put this order in. So I'm already paying like $11 billion for the postage. So just like fill the box. And so I would do a lot more of that and make sure that I got everything I needed, which is hilarious for me because I'm normally that person that always runs out of yarn for the project because I never get what I need. So I've got a few like things ready for like entire projects, which is cool. Yeah, John has his Amma kit with the Icelandic wool to work on this summer. Absolutely. That's the thing. Like we've all got like these mass projects. Like I don't think, fingers crossed, I don't think I'm going to run out of yarn for my my queen. But yeah, it's one of those things. Annette R says, I want to get into weaving, especially tea towels for gifts next Christmas. Hand woven tea towels are amazing. I've got this phenomenal friend and she weaves all of her family tea towels every year. And no one ever goes, oh, another tea towel. They're all like, because she's a phenomenal weaver as well. So they're always really interesting and beautiful. But she helped me weave my first tea towel. And it was, I just did like a few, like, it's just a couple of stripes. So I had a couple of stripes in the warp, but then I did like blocks of striping in the weft. And it was, I love it. I've had it now for 5 years and it's the best tea towel we own. Like it's like the one that you wash and hang straight back up because you can use it to get stuff out of the oven because it's thick and it dries dishes like you wouldn't believe because it's 100% cotton and just, yeah. There's something about amazing handmade tea towels. And I just used that $2 a ball from the cheapest chips dollar shop or whatever it is, balls of pure cotton. Like I don't even know what brand it was. I don't even know if it had a brand, but she was like, you need X number of meters. So I just bought like 15 of these balls and I had tons left over because I ended up like overbuying. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was so good. It's a test run for using our apocalypse stash. Yes, it is. I personally prefer 100% cotton, but I've also seen beautiful ones in a cotton linen blend. But yeah, I would definitely not recommend any kind of man-made fiber for tea towels. I would absolutely be going cotton or cotton linen. Oh, John, you still have your Tequila Sunrise kit as well. Okay, you got some projects. You got some. Also, you have a climate that means that you can snuggle under these blankets, man. Ah, yes, freaky, definitely cotton. I agree. And the Game Widow says the more they're washed, the better it gets. Yep. And I haven't noticed any wear. Like, that's the thing. Like, it gets used constantly, and it doesn't appear to be wearing out. So it's getting a bit fluffy, but it's not actually thin, if that makes sense. Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of what I did because I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never woven a project before. So I'd woven samples and things like that, but I'd never sat down and gone, I'm going to be making this thing. It was the first project for that. It was before I owned my own loom. So yeah. Definitely better to have more than less. I agree. Says Chantel, who just about always runs out of yarn in her crochet projects. Jancy says cotton weaving is so hard. I'm struggling as a first timer. So the thing to remember with the cotton, this coming from me, who is not a pro weaver, okay? So pro weavers in the group, correct me if I'm wrong. But you don't need to get them tight together. They just need to be even. It needs to be, you still got to beat it a little, but you don't need to be squishing it and compacting it so hard, because when you wash them, the threads fill out. So it's not like with wool where you do need to get it that bit closer together. This actually sits just beautiful if you can just see the little dots through it, if that makes sense. There'll be a term that someone throws in here that I don't know that will describe it, I'm sure. So, but yeah, I don't, and that was the biggest thing for me to learn. So at the start of mine, I was doing that. I was like really like bringing it in, and she was like, no, you don't need to do that. You just make it loose, and washing it will sort all this out. Cotton, looser packing. There we go. I knew someone would have the word packing. You need to see both the warp and the weft, because when you wash it, the cotton acts differently. Thank you, Game Widows. John says, I'm crocheting my merino cashmere scarf from under my wool Bonnie Bay blanket. Yeah, because it's lovely. I think I saw a temperature of 4 degrees. Yeah, that sounds lovely. Like to have blankets on. I don't know if I'd like 4, but that sounds nice to craft in. Oops. Bye, Vanfia. See you in 2022. Knit Spin Girl started using your hand woven towels instead of hoarding them. What do you think? Do you love using them, or are you freaking out? That's helpful? I hope so. Weaving terms I don't know, but I have interested in it from time to time. Yeah, see, that's the same for me. I like to weave, but I don't think I could teach weaving other than basic up and down, but I don't know the proper terminology. But I suppose that doesn't stop me from teaching knitting and crocheting. I'm like, just poke the thing in the other thing. Yeah. And there we go. And then when you're finishing, the gaps will bloom and close. Shrinking slightly is also advantageous, because that's the thing, it will shrink. So yeah. Oh, that's so awesome, Knit Spin Girls. I'm just trying to get comfy again, you guys. I wiggle around. I'm so sorry. I'm such a wiggly worm today. Yeah. I've got to, like, one of the things I want to do is, what my craft room is currently got everything from the dining room in it. So once I'm cleaning it out, I want to be able to pull my loom out and make some stuff. One of the advantages of weaving is it uses stash very fast. You can weave up a scarf very quickly. I made a beautiful lace weight scarf, 6-foot lace weight. It was in the old Fiberific pinwheel. Love that yarn so much. So 700 meters of lace weight merino silk blend. It was done in a weekend, including tassels and washing. And that was with me learning how to do stuff. Like, it was my first solo warping as well. So yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like, and it's one of those things, weaving can be a group effort as well. Boxal, welcome to the chat. So good to see you. So good to see you. You need to come and hang out. Yeah. Oh, anyway, sorry. Totally sidetracked by Tammy. It's good to see you. But yeah, so like, that's one of the things I would really love to do, is weave some tea towels for gifts, because you don't need to do anything fancy if you don't want to. It's a really great beginner project. And you can use 4-ply cotton, 8-ply cotton, whatever you can get your hands on. And you can make the stripes the length of the ball of yarn if you want. You can make chunks or panels. I like I think it was a six line stripe personally, but that was me. And yeah, it's fantastic. And you can just weave heaps and just keep weaving and weaving and create like little buffers in the middle. And then you can just cut it all off and then trim it down, and you just stitch around the edges on with your sewing machine. And so, yeah, then you can make a whole pile at once, which is just great. So, yeah, I need to grab a tissue. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Sorry, I've got the air conditioning on in here, and it's blowing a little bit hard, but it's really hot, and if I turn it off, I'll melt. So, but it's making my nose run. So, yeah, sorry. It does. It sounds like we've all got some amazing stuff coming up. And I can't wait to see everything that we make over in the Fiberific Fun Zone. And we've got an amazing list of things that you guys would like to see here in the live streams and on the channel, which I'm super grateful for. I really appreciate you guys jumping in and telling me what you want, because it helps me to make more of what you want. How is Louis doing? He's doing really well. So he still has his cone of shame on. So quick Louis catch up. A few months back, we took him to the vet to get desexed. He has a heart murmur, which we already knew about. But they wanted to scan it to double check to make sure it was like innocent, like our last dogs, except it wasn't innocent. It was very bad. And we basically had to rush him in for life-saving surgery. So he had to go through all like the recovery process from that, which he brilliant, absolutely champion. And he's come out of the side of his heart surgery really good. Finally got the all clear to actually take him to go and get neutered. And he's been so much naughtier. And so his healing process from being neutered, there was some complications with that, like can't do anything normal, Louis. So there was a lot more stitches than what they would usually have for a male neutering. I don't want to go into too much detail. But yeah, so we think he should be able to get his cone of shame off maybe in the next couple of days. Cross your fingers. He'd really like it. He's now using it as a weapon. He just walks up to you and whacks his head into your leg like, ha, 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 and just walks off. Like he literally is using it to wield as a weapon. Yeah, so he doesn't like it. But other than that, he's good. He's good. I think he'd be very happy to be allowed to go on walks again and to get the stupid cone off. So, yeah. It is definitely. I heard about that. They looked great. They look so good. It's a good way to use it up as well. That's the other thing. Weaving can use up yarns that you may have bought and stashed and then realized they're probably not going to crochet up or knit up very well. So it's really good for using up, especially some of your textured yarns. You can make some gorgeous, like if you've got a nice textured yarn that's still soft, but you just think, oh God, I do not want to knit with this. It's really, really good for using that textured yarn, because the textures will come through either side of your weaving and you'll get a beautiful textured scarf using up the yarn that you may or may not have purchased in error, which, I mean, I've done that. So, you know, surely somebody else has bought yarn and gotten it home and just went, oh God, what was I thinking? Yeah. So definitely. John says here, I'll post a scarf photo once I can post in the fun zone again. Are you in prison again, John? I didn't realize that you were back in Facebook prison. So I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I've just finished my cold brew. I'm sad. I think he must be back in again. Game Widow says, the boat shuttle made weaving easier. Yeah, I definitely like using boat shuttles if I can, rather than just wrapping sticks. So they've probably got a different name than wrapping sticks, but that's how I think of them. Are you back in prison as of yesterday? Oh, goodness. If you want me to post a photo, you can DM it to me and I'll throw it in for you. Otherwise, we can wait. We can wait. Yeah, this so, like, I set up a second camera. I was going to grab the crochet, but you guys are just enthralling me today in the chat. I believe John has been naughty again. Or should I say, somebody thinks John's been naughty and then shared that with Facebook, because sometimes it's not automatic. Sometimes it's somebody taking offense at what you had to say and actually reporting you. I've seen some like stupid stuff reported. Just like, really, you reported that. I know Franklin Habit gets reported for a few things sometimes. And you're just like, guys, get a grip. He was being ironic. Anyway, Knitspin Girl says, I just started using the boat shuttle I bought ages ago. Game changer. Oh, it was a bot that got you. Oh, I'm sorry, John. But yeah, the boat shuttles are fantastic. I like the stick. Like, do you guys use the one where you've got to wind the little bobbin that goes in, that you drop inside of it? Because those aren't as great for your textured yarns, I found. But yeah, other than that, like, I really like the boat ones. Knit Spin Girl, my friend who taught me to weave, she lent me one of hers, and I just found that when I was winding, like, do you have the winder or are you winding it manually? Because she had a winder and I would just run my finger up and down and guide it, like, sort of like how a ball winder guides the thing on. I would do it that way. But yeah, I reckon it's going to come down to practice, like everything that we all do. It's all going to come down to practice. So yeah. Yeah, it's definitely so many things that we can do with yarn, honestly. Like, we are only limited by our imaginations, because if you can imagine it, you can Google it, and there's probably an instructional somewhere for you. So yeah, it is definitely one of those sort of things where you're like, I wonder if I can do this thing, and you can just, Google how to whatever. And there's just so many instructionals out there. Now, something I've noticed is there's a lot of really amazing ones where I cannot understand the speaker. They don't speak English, and I only speak English. So I sort of have to sit there and really just watch and stare and rewind back. And it's just like, I love using all the keyboard shortcuts for 5-second rewind, 1-second rewind, 10-second skip backs. You know what I mean? Like, so you can just keep rewatching it and working, counting the stitches and things like that. Because, like, there's no instructions in English anyway. Like, even if you go to their printout, it's not in English. So yeah, but some of those ones are amazing because the stitch techniques or like anything that they're doing is just phenomenal, So yeah, it's always worth watching those. And I've heard people who write in the comments and they're rude about the fact that it's not in English. And it's like, I'm sorry, English is not the most common language spoken on this planet. It is not. And so it's one of these things that's just like, get a grip. There's plenty of people that don't speak English. There's actually more people who don't speak English than people who do speak English as a first language. And so, yeah, and they're like, oh, if it's on YouTube, it should be in English. No, I don't agree. Like, I find it useful if it is, sweet. If it's not, I try and work it out. So, because English is not the first language of the majority of the world. I'm just having a look here. Knitspin Girls has an antique hand winder. I'm finding it hard to wind with one hand and guide the yarn with the other. Maybe have a look at getting a newer one, because the newer ones are a lot easier to wind. Do you have to fill the boat, shuttle, bobbin by hand, and do you have a winder? So you can do both. It's up to you entirely. But I find it easier with the let's like this winder with a long prominent, and you slide your little cardboard tube onto that and wind and fill that and then drop it into the boat. That's what I personally prefer, but it's up to you guys entirely. It's up to you guys entirely. Sally has popped in a link here. If you guys want to support me in other ways other than joining channel membership, you could buy me a coffee. So, yeah. Yeah, Chintami, absolutely. I found that some of the Russian knitting bids are really good. Yes. And yeah, Eastern European crochet videos, insane. I agree that not everybody knows English as a first language, and it's good if they have subtitles. Yeah. The problem with a lot of those subtitling is YouTube tend to auto subtitle. So it's again a bot. It's an algorithm creating those. Sometimes they're not always correct, and they can throw you off. So I find it easier if I watch. Use the method that is best for you. Yes, Freaky. Absolutely. Use the tools you have and what you can. The first Tunisian videos I watched were in Spanish. 4 years of college Spanish didn't prepare me. I can imagine it wouldn't. I can't imagine that many college students would need to understand crochet terminology as part of their regular words. I'm not gonna show that, Chintami, just because like I'll get pinged by YouTube. Oh, I would like to have that one hidden. Just remove that one. Yep. But yes, I do agree with you. The auto subscription, the auto sub captioning is not great. I know that over on my new channel and on the pre-record videos here in Fiberific, I actually use a service that does it for me. And it's actually got humans, but that's English to English. This same service will do translations as well. They've got like a handful of languages that they'll translate, and it's people translating. So I find that to be really good. It's not cheap. It works out to be about $1.25 a minute, which for a short video is fine, but that's exactly why I don't do it for these videos, because these are 2 hours. No, it's all right, Sally. It's all cool. Because if we were having a conversation, it wouldn't have fazed me, but because it's just here on YouTube, they get a bit funny. Sometimes they're starting to penalize some creators for what's being said in their chats and in their comments. And it's just like, there you go. Yes, rephrase. Auto subs are completely illegible most of the time. Yes, they don't make any sense whatsoever. So they're getting better. Like the English ones are definitely getting better. They struggle with accents, so it does not do well with the Aussie accent. And I try not to drawl too much, but I do. You know, it's how I speak. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, YouTube definitely penalize creators for what their community say. Chintami's words were more blunt than my words. For a change, Freaky. But yeah, so it's definitely worth keeping an eye on some of those other channels and having a look at what they're doing. Like you see these things that come up and they go through Facebook where it's like a little snippet of a video and someone's like, I want to make this, but I can't find the pattern anywhere. And it's because it's a video tutorial. It's been put on Pinterest and it's like linked to the wazoo, where it's just like see an ad. And that annoys me. I barely use Pinterest now because of how annoying I find that process. Which is such a shame because Pinterest had such potential. It really did. It had amazing potential. And it's just been, it's frustrating. Anyway, they may be unintelligible, but they can be hilarious. Yes, I agree with you. Sally said, I watched Stephanie's live once with subtitles. It was quite funny. Yeah. It doesn't do well with John's accent either. if you want accurate speech to text, you need to speak US Midwestern. Yeah. And that's the, oops. I know. I thought I was hiding it from the channel. Sorry. Took me a second to realize what was going on there. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Holly says, I hate all the ads on Pinterest. Me too. And a lot of the time, the very original poster didn't do it. It's somebody else who's come in and created like a PDF of 16 ways to do this thing. And then they've added that image into that with probably usually without permission as well. Ad hurdles are annoying. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I have no problem, zero problems with a creator having ads, right? Because for some of them, they're giving away a free thing. The only income they will get is whatever ad revenue they get. That doesn't bother me. But when the ads ruin the experience, like if they're just border ads, I have no problems. But when it's just like you get to see like this much of something, and then you have to click to go to the next page that's got all new ads, and it takes like 20 pages to get the full story, that ticks me off so much. Absolutely annoys me. But yeah, so a lot of these amazing stitches and things like that you see on Pinterest, if you just hit YouTube, excuse me, quite often the videos there, it's just not in English. That's all. So you just have to watch and learn and not listen and learn, if that makes sense. Sometimes you can learn how to count in another language, because like all of us, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, so you you get the feel for, okay, they did, I think that's 7. So, they did 7 of something. Leanne says, I deleted my Pinterest account a very long time ago. Yeah, I've still got mine just because, I like to keep my name for things. I want the Fiberific and I want the Chantel Hills. I've got both. And so, yeah, and I used to put all my videos up on Pinterest as well. And I actually got a customer because from the US who was looking for the colored bobbins from Margicraft. They could not get them anywhere in the US. So Margicraft let me ship them. I can't normally ship Margicraft items internationally. So Margicraft, I spoke to Margicraft and they're like, no, if they've come to you that way and they've messaged you and they've talked to you, then yeah, we can send it for you. So I was just like, yay. So I did that. Good. They wanted one of each of the colors and I happen to have one of each of the colors. So yeah. This Pin Girl says, I don't use Pinterest anymore. I got so sick of going around and around in circles trying to find the original link. Yeah. And that's the frustrating thing is Pinterest had amazing potential. And I think there's people out there trying to clean it up and get it back to what it was. But there's a lot of bad actors on Pinterest, like anywhere, taking credit for someone else's work or adding it into a file where it's actually not even there and it's just the image so that you go and, you follow that link back and then you see all their ad placement and yet you still don't get to see the thing. And I find all of that exceptionally frustrating. So I don't spend a lot of time on Pinterest. I used to go down Pinterest rabbit holes all the time, and now I just don't. So yeah, now I do tend to go down Ravelry rabbit holes way more than Pinterest rabbit holes. So, and YouTube, I spend a lot of time just like, I'll watch something that someone does and I'm like, oh, that was so cool. And then the next video starts, you're like, oh, what are they doing now? And sometimes it takes a while to work out what they're doing. You're like, oh my God, that is amazing. So yeah, you definitely there's just some phenomenal non-English speaking creators out there that do not get the same level. Oh, and you know what? Some of them do. Some of them get phenomenal views and subscribers, but they get all these rude comments, and you're just like, "I'll get a grip. Why don't you build a bridge and just watch what they're doing?" Anyway, I do. I find people picking on other people for the language that they speak to be rude, and it bugs me. So basically, it's like so much. It bugs me so much. I had to remove the Pinterest browser add-on this morning because it removed my YouTube description and the show more button. That was strange. Really? Wow. Okay. Artsog, I will see you next year. Have an awesome rest of 2021. So enjoy your lunch. I'm sure that's why you're running away. But yeah, oh, that's odd. That's really odd. I've not noticed that. I got rid of mine just because it was annoying. Every time I had the thing where it was like I could pin something to Pinterest, like from anywhere on the internet, so I could click on a picture and it would go to pin it for me. But I was just like, oh, this is so annoying, because I would be trying to zoom in on a picture or something just to see it, and it'd be like, do you want to pin this? And I'm like, I don't. I just like to look at it, please. Oh, whoops. Game Widows loves to see sewing vids from Japan. I love Japanese crochet vids as well. Absolutely. Sally is saying Happy New Year's to everyone. I'm just saying it to Artsog. Everybody else is still here. Okay. Wow. I didn't craft again. I'm so sorry. I had my project. I got my yarn. I got my hook. I got my scissors. I didn't craft. I didn't craft. I'll get there. I'll get back into it. Don't worry. I'll get back into it. My phone fell down. That was what the big bang was. Sorry about that. Beersheba, see you next year as well. Have an awesome, awesome time. I hope you have a lovely couple of days. Hope today is great for you for the rest of 2021. So yeah, it will be fun. It will be fun. For some reason, I keep thinking today is Saturday. I don't know why. I think it's just because I got to sleep in, and it was a cruisy start to the day. And yeah, my brain keeps going, oh, what have I got to do tonight? Oh yeah, that's right, this thing. It's no, that's Saturday, and today is Thursday. For me, it's Wednesday for a lot of you. Anyway, you guys, it has been fantastic to hang out with you all. And I do hope that you all, have had something memorable and positive to look back on for 2021, and that you have something to look forward to in 2022, whether it's a mindset shift or whether it's a project or whatever it is. I really hope that you have something that you can look forward to. Now, in January, I'm attending a virtual conference, so I'm going to be switching my entire body to a US time zone for nearly a week. So I won't be live streaming on. It's the let me just look at the date. It's the 13th of January for us. So I won't be live streaming on that one day, but at this stage, I do plan to live stream the rest of January, just that one Thursday off. Just because I will be switching everything over in my brain and body for about a week to attend a virtual summit for live streaming, of all things, to try and learn some cool new tricks and see how that goes. But other than that, I plan on every Thursday live streaming here. I'm just got a few more comments, so I just want to grab those. Swapped one of my spinner projects to the gem. The fluff is so fluffy and just wants to stick to everything. I have to use a silk apron so it's not all over my clothes. Some fluff does that. Long day today. Picked up my dad's certificate at the funeral home and then went to dinner with his girl. That sounds like a very long day for you, John. Very long day. That wonderful time of year where nobody knows what day it is, what's going on, but there's a lot of food in the fridge. Yeah, absolutely. That's what's happening here. Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy New Year's. I'll be another year older on New Year's Day and enjoying the public holiday. Do you get a public holiday for your birthday? Oh, that's so exciting, Alison. That's so exciting. Yeah. Happy New Year's to you all. And I will see you guys next year. Also next week. Have an awesome one, and I'll catch you all later. I'm just finding the screens. There we go. I'll catch you all later. Bye.